Welcome, my friends, to this special episode of Spiritual Science. Today, we'll continue the topic presented in the previous episode. We're talking about the quintessence and the relation between this element, very important in alchemy, and metaphoric, its relation to spiritual science. My name is Carlos Gutierrez, and if you're interested in the previous episodes, you can find in my YouTube channel with the same name, Carlos Gutierrez. At the end of this video, if you like, don't forget to indicate a like, or if you dislike, you're welcome to say so you can improve our presentation. So talking about our episode, the quintessence and meditation. In the previous episode, I showed that there is a direct relation between this important element of alchemy called quintessence and the journey using meditation to connect to our deepest and most profound level. In alchemy, the three major procedures are called the work in black, the work in white, and the work in red. And in our practice of meditation, we have three levels: concentration, meditation, and contemplation. If you want more information about the stage or levels of meditation, you can find it on the chapters 8 and 9 of first season. So today I'll talk about the second level or second work in the alchemical journey. We are talking about the work in white and its relation, of course, with the heart meditation. The mystic symbol of the work in white is a dove, because the dove symbolizes purity. It represents the work to purify our thoughts, to be pure and clean, to hear the voice of the higher self. So the work in white is the work we develop to reach the quintessence. Talking about alchemy, the purpose of the work in white is purification process through continuous evaporation and condensation of a liquid. Each time the liquid condenses after evaporation, it becomes more and more cleaner from its impurities. When a liquid goes through this process 5 times, over and over, the result is called the quintessence of a substance. When you apply this principle in meditation, we'll reach the same goal, a process of purification. So during the meditation, the most important element or the most important key is to use our imagination. And the first step, we imagine our consciousness that usually is the same side of the physical body to begin to reduce. So we can imagine our consciousness shrinking little by little to reach the size of a grain of rice. We visualize it floating 1 inch above our heads. And then we move our consciousness to sink into our body until to reach the heart center. This process is metaphorically equivalent to evaporation and condensation of an alchemical operation. So we use our imagination to imagine our consciousness to reduce the size little by little and to reach the size of a grain of rice. And according our consciousness reducing the size, is becoming more lighter. So that's the reason we can imagine our consciousness floating a little bit above of our head. And then, using the power of imagination, we guide our consciousness deep inside to reach the heart center. So, in the moment our consciousness is diving into our heart, we imagine that it will reach a room, a chamber. And our consciousness, when reach this chamber, imagine to reach our emotional body. So we begin the second step of this process. We imagine that we reduce the size of our consciousness one more time and goes directly to the heart of the emotional body. And in the heart of our emotional body, we'll find a landscape like this. You know, pure nature, crystal water lake in front of us, mountains, and up above in the sky, in the clear blue sky, we'll find a sun, brighter than our physical sun. And imagine that the light from this sun helps to clean our bodies, physical, mental, and emotional bodies. And after this process, imagine that you go to the lake, and when our consciousness is in the lake, we repeat the process one more time. We reduce our consciousness, and this reduced consciousness stay floating above our head. And then, using the power of our imagination, we move our consciousness to the heart of that sun. The sun, in this case, represents our mental body. And in the heart of the sun, our consciousness will find an angel. An angel made of white light. And one more time in front of this angel, we ask permission to enter on his heart. And one more time, you reduce the size of our consciousness. And then we guide our consciousness to enter in the heart of that angel. When we complete this process and the process to enter in the heart of the angel, we have reached the level we call the quintessence of our consciousness. And so we can return back to the first chamber of our heart's temple. And now we may say that our consciousness is completely purified. So it can go ahead to go deeper in the temple of our heart. And in the temple of our heart, our purified consciousness is ready to contact the higher self. So basically, this is the steps of the meditation we'll make today. So my suggestion now is pause this video, look for a quiet place where you know that there is no interruption. And on this quiet place, you sit in a very comfortable position. And then you continue following the guidance of this video. Okay? So look for a comfortable position. Relax the tensions of your body. And so the first thing to do is to change the focus of our attention. So usually our attention is outside, and we need to direct our attention to our own body. A simple procedure is paying attention in our breath. So my suggestion is to hold our thumb in a very gentle way and begins to pay attention to our breath. Exhaling, inhaling. When you exhale, imagine that you are unloading what you don't need anymore. To inhale and receive the universal energy. Let's unload feelings, thoughts that are unnecessary. So we can open a space inside to receive the universal and purified energy. So let's continue to unload and receive. Now let's hold the index finger and exhale to receive. Exhale and unload to receive the purified energy. Exhale, inhale, unload and receive. Now let's hold the middle finger, continue exhaling. Imagine that we are releasing our thoughts, worries, fears, frustrations to receive more and abundant energy. Let's continue exhaling our efforts, our sadness, our anxiety to receive peace. Let's unload what we don't need anymore to receive the pure energy. Now let's hold the ring finger to exhale and unload. Inhale and receive. Exhale and let it go. The tension accumulating in our body. And inhale serenity. Let's unload the tension affecting our emotional body. And inhale peace. Let's unload the tension overload our mental body. And inhale complete peace. Now let's hold the little finger and continue unloading unnecessary thoughts. To receive the pure white light. Exhale and inhale. Exhale and receive the vital energy that sustains health and life. Let's one more time. Exhale and unload to receive. Next step, let's pay more attention to our own body. Let's feel our heartbeat. The pulsation of our heart represents the rhythm of our life. Let's imagine following the rhythm of our heart that our consciousness, as big as our physical body, begins to reduce the size. And on each heartbeat, our consciousness reduces a little, and keeping reducing, diminishing, becoming smaller and smaller. In this process to reduce the size of consciousness, we feel that our consciousness becomes lighter and lighter too. So very soon we'll feel our consciousness floating above our heads and continue to become smaller and smaller to reach the size of a grain of rice. In the moment we feel that our consciousness is really small, using the power of our imagination, let's visualize that everything around us begins to change. The walls and roof of this room disappears, and we see ourselves in the middle of nature. Above us, only clear blue sky. And on this clear blue sky, we can see the sun brightening, illuminate us. We imagine that from the heart of the sun came drops of pure light. And one of these drops involve our consciousness. So our consciousness now is inside a sphere of pure light. And now we can guide our consciousness to enter through the top of our head inside our body. And the moment our consciousness begins to move inside our body, the light that surrounds our consciousness expands, illuminates our inner universe. And you keep moving down, down, crossing the neck and enters in the thorax. And you keep moving to reach the center of our heart. In an energetic level, we imagine that to reach a round chamber, the first chamber of our heart. And through the path we take to reach our heart, like we open a tunnel from the top of our head until reach our heart, let's imagine that the sunlight continues flowing like a cascade of light. And this light fills our heart and continue expanding. The light you receive in our heart expands to illuminate all our organs. Illuminate our lungs, stomach, liver and gallbladder, spleen and pancreas, the kidneys and the back, large and small intestine, bladder, reproductive organs, and moving up, illuminate our throats, head, brain, nervous system, expand through all our tissues to finally reach the level of our cells. About 50 billion trillion cells are receiving this light, this vitality, this energy. But our consciousness is still there in the center of our heart. So now let's invite our emotional body to connect us. And you visualize in front of us a human-shaped form representing our emotional body. Let's ask permission to enter on the heart. And one more time, you reduce the size of our consciousness. And when our consciousness is really, really small, you go straight to the heart of our emotional body. And there we imagine a beautiful landscape, pure nature, mountains, forests, clear blue sky above. In front of us, a lake with clear water. And up above, we can see a very bright sun, much, much brighter than our physical sun. And from that sun, you receive a light that purifies us. A cascade of light that purify our physical body. Harmonizes our emotional body and calm down our mental body. And to complete the process, let's imagine that you go and dive in the lake in front of us. And in the lake, let's imagine that one more time our consciousness begins to reduce its size. Becomes smaller, smaller, and smaller. Very small. One more time floating above our heads. And so we ask permission to the sun to allow us to enter on its heart. And with the power of our imagination, we move our consciousness to dive into that ocean of light that is the sun, to reach the center, the core of that sun. And there, we visualize the presence of an angel made by pure white light. This angel is the guardian of the sun, the guardian of the heart of the sun. We salute that angel and ask permission to enter on his heart. And one more time, imagine our consciousness reducing our size, becoming smaller, smaller, smaller. And then you go directly to the heart of the angel. The heart of this angel is like a cathedral made by pure, transparent crystal. And when you see ourselves inside of that temple, that cathedral, we can see the angel offering us something like a dress, clothes made by pure white light, dressing us with pure white light. This symbolizes the process that made us pure and clean. After to give us your blessings, the angel invites us to return back to the first chamber of our hearts. And there we can see our right side, an open door that guides us to a second chamber. And when you enter on this second chamber, you look at our right side, a closing door. go in the direction of this door, and using the power of imagination, we cross this door without opening it. And you enter in the sacred temple of our heart. The atmosphere on this temple is peace and love. Imagine we are walking to the center of this temple, and you feel the presence of our higher self. This is the most sacred place in our inner universe. This is a place to make our prayers, to recharge our batteries, to meditate, this is the place where we receive the message of our higher self. So I invite you to stay for a few moments in silence, receiving the energy and blessings from this place. The peace and harmony that surround us permeate our consciousness. We are receiving now the blessings from the spiritual dimensions. We say thank you. But now it's time to end our meditation. So let's imagine that we are going in the direction of that door that never opens. And one more time we cross this door to the second chamber. And you return to the first chamber. And there we imagine that you are moving up through the tunnel back to the top of our heads. And there one more time, we visualize the roof, the walls of this room surrounding us. And feeling the heartbeat one more time, we imagine that our consciousness begins to expand. Little by little, keep expanding, 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 until reach the size of our physical body, connect to the physical body completely. And we finish this way our meditation. My friends, this exercise is powerful. I suggest you to practice continuously once a week, once a day, doesn't matter. But every time you practice this, you're create a deeper connection to your spiritual dimensions and to your higher self. Every time you see yourself on that temple of your heart, you reach the perfect place to make your prayers, to ask for answers you need, and stay quiet, absorbing the vibration, the energy. And during the day, you receive the answer you're looking for. This is an important step on our spiritual journey. So my suggestion is practice this exercise many times, frequently, and you'll see a profound change in your lives. So this is the topic for today. I hope you enjoy, and we'll see you on the next episode. Bye.